All right. So today or tonight, I'm just going to go over a few draft prospects that really stand out to me that would, well, either that I really like or that would fit the Las Vegas Raiders. They're my team that I support mostly. But just really prospects I like in this upcoming draft. Some receivers, some corners, and then maybe some running backs. So let's just kind of get into it. How's it going, JB? Good to see you again, man. All right. So the first one, let's go. Let me go like this. And, I might not be showing as many videos that you might see me be passing on the Twitter feed and whatnot, and that's just because copyright issues. So I'm gonna try to show some stuff, but not do it all. Good to see all the viewers. First guy I'm going to talk about is Brian Edwards. If you guys heard me, seen any of my other videos, which I'm sure some of you have, JB's been here before. I'm a big fan of Brian Edwards in the SEC. Produced 50% of the touchdowns this past year. I would argue he was arguably the number one receiver 2 years ago, even when Deebo Samuel was there. Big physical receiver. I think would have gone, you would have been talking mid-late first round if you didn't get hurt. I believe he had a knee injury, if I'm not mistaken. But 6'3", 212, 32-inch arms, phenomenal. For being that big, really good quickness, good route running for his size. You see him run over people. He had a good Wonderlic score, if you believe into that. I think there's a little put into that, but, not the most important thing. But you watch this tape versus Alabama this past year. I mean, just trucking people. They used them a lot in jet sweeps and stuff like that. So you see him able to get around the corner and stuff. So pre-injury, just really a force out there. So as I mentioned, I thought if he would have been healthy mid round one, late round one, now that he got hurt, I would have him graded, as a mid second rounder right now because of the injury. Having said that, he has the upside to play the X receiver, be that number one, do everything. I really think he can do it all, stretch the field, run after catch, big play waiting to happen, but since the injury, as I mentioned, I would have him rated about a mid-second rounder. Now, having said that, in this draft, there's so many receivers that could go in that range that you would have rated, around that range or late one. And because there's so many, there's only so many that can be drafted. Therefore, just because, you have someone graded, they're going to fall. There's going to be players. So when I talk about these players in the range, especially in these deep position groups, it's a wide range. So, he could go anywhere, like I said, middle, late second. I think he could even go all the way to the fourth round maybe this year. I think it's more likely, mid-second to middle third. So he's a player that possibly, could fit. I'm trying to see if we could find. Broke his foot. Yeah, he missed his final 2 games due to a knee injury. I'm pretty sure he had to have surgery. I'm pretty sure. And then broke his foot in February while training for the NFL Combine. So that's so worrisome. But, yeah, Mahler, exactly what I'm saying. You could go on YouTube, guys. I can't share screen it, but go on YouTube if you're interested in these guys and just type in their name and then verse rather than watching just highlight plays. Watch the whole game and check them out. So now I'm going to go, let's see here. And then we'll do some mock draft stuff, maybe later, some simulator. If you guys have questions on players or whatnot, I'll try to check the comments. I wish I would have had the Google Doc set up like I normally do when I'm showing all this stuff, but let's see some stuff. So I'm just going to check, my Twitter feed and just check quickly what he has. So Wonderlic, if you believe in that, 29-28 reported. It's really good. Like I said, I don't know if it's everything. 17 seconds. 17 seconds. All right, let's watch this 9 seconds here. Look at that catch. Get off me. Take it to the house. So, see right here. Like I said, I got to pause it and do whatnot to try to remain copyright. I don't want to blow it up either. Just showing that the ability, the one hand brings it in. One hand on him. Get off me. I don't want to show all the videos. Here we go. I like to, when I do the Google Doc, I usually like, to kind of vent where the stats are coming from, but, just hope to 40%. Yeah, 50% receiving touchdown share. I know that's right. I mentioned that for his team. Yeah, there's that one play again. I can't show the 2-minute. Let's see what this says. 64214. Yeah, he's a monster. Check him out, guys. I'm a big fan. He's like probably my biggest dream receiver if they're possibly the Raiders could get, around the 3rd round. Like I said, it's a wide range of where he could go or early-ish, I would have him rated as a mid-second because the injury maybe he'll be around 80, 81. And I just think having that big physical receiver like that, he would work with any of the receivers, well, especially the guys from Alabama, is the top 3 guys who would pair perfectly with those guys. Henry Ruggs or Jerry Jeudy. Just a big physical playmaker out there. Let me see. Kind of do this on the fly. If you guys have a player you want some thoughts on, just go ahead. But I'm just going to kind of talk about a few. The next guy I kind of want to talk about is Tyler Johnson from Minnesota. Let's go. He's maybe lacking the speed department, but man, he's great with the diamond releases in the red zone, especially. Hand size, you need like a little bigger. Arm length's actually not horrible. But really just been a really good player. He probably profiles as like a slot receiver, probably, but being a great route runner, you might be able to play on the outside. Usually, the key for the outside is being able to beat press man, which has to do with hand fighting and acceleration and get off, physicality as well. Or you have to be able to have great speed, which he's lacking there. But I think he can still potentially get to the outside. And like I said, if you guys want to check out a whole bunch of their stuff, just type their name in YouTube space. These CD Lamb, JB, that's who you want to talk about. Yeah, CD is I was going to talk about today. He is run after catch beast. The problem is that I see is he's not clearly running away from guys, outrunning guys. You're gonna get more speed at the professional level. Ideally, more tackling, especially better tackling compared to the Big 12. So that's kind of my thought on CD. So Tyler Johnson, I'm gonna go to my Twitter feed and kind of just check out some stuff with him real quick. Like I said, usually I have them screenshotted and I'm go to them. There's ranked teams. Oh, look at this. I like that. Michigan State, who was ranked at the time, these were ranked teams. This guy balled in all these games. Like I said, I can't vent all these stats, but take it for what it's worth. Usually, I would do some research or only trust the guys that I really know. But look at this: Michigan State 8 for 106.3, Northwestern 8 for 88 TD. So just a chain mover out there, high target chain mover. Auburn. That's either Ohio State University or Oklahoma State. Who knows? Wisconsin. Look at all those numbers, man. Woo. Let's see. Let's keep going here a little bit. What is this? Oh, yeah. Hey, how you doing? Let's watch it again. So doesn't have a lot of separation as we mentioned, but look at him high point that ball. This guy, he's gonna go one hand free. Moss, boom. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice out there. First stats, put up numbers, kid. Put up numbers. Let's see. Whoop, that's a diamond release. Woo. Yeah, let's check him out more. Let's see if we got some more comments here. JB, yeah, because the Ravens want a trade of a second rounder, and a rumor 4 or 5 next year to move up to 17, move up 17 spots to New York Jets. Oh wow, JB. Okay, wow. I like that rumor. That so JB is saying, loyal listener, I was Brady Tyler Johnson. He wants to know more about CD. So my thing about CD, I guess I kind of go into it. I don't have my stats in front of me, but real physical player, catches it with his hands. If it touches his hands, it's usually his. I know Pro Football Focus had a stat saying he had no drop over 20 plus yards. He had one in the playoffs this year. He dropped a touchdown in a blowout loss. It was late, but him running the hand should have been about 70-yard touchdown. A little bit what scares me, doesn't have a lot of variety in the ways he got the ball and the routes. Having said that, he is a pretty good route runner. He does kind of tend to beat the drum, be excessive on a little bit on comeback routes. If he were to drop his hips more, kind of keep his chest, in front of him, and because if you slow down your hips, that's how you slow down. You don't want to, slow down with just your feet. And so beating your drum is, kind of like, chopping your feet. But real good player. But the kind of thing that concerns me is, when's the last big time Big 12 receiver? I guess his old teammate Brown out there this past year, 2 years ago, and your former first round pick of the Ravens. As you know, he had a great rookie year, so that is a good sign. But I never faced any press unless it was against Jeff Gladney, who's going to be, a late 1, early 2 pick. But great hands. He's physical. Kind of reminds me of, I heard DeAndre Hopkins a lot. That makes sense. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of a Keenan Allen, though, to me. Keenan Allen's just a great route runner, though. So I think CeeDee Lamb can get there for sure because Eric DeCosta likes Oklahoma. Yeah. Can't wait till the draft, and we will take a receiver in the first and third. Yeah, son, I think that is a good possibility. I think there is a possibility, though, that they do still try to trade up and get Isaiah Simmons. I know everyone on planet Earth seems to be penciling him at number 4, and there is a chance he goes there at number 4. Having said that, typically when you take a quarterback the year before, you want to build that offensive line. They need tackle. Arguably, they need 2. That's talking about the Giants at 4. So if he doesn't go 4, the next maybe Detroit. I doubt it. Probably going to be Akuta. Then after that, I know people said San Diego. The Chargers maybe, and build up that and have all those chess pieces. But I don't know about that. I think Benjamin Solak even had to refer to it in a podcast today when I was to do it. But I've mentioned in previous videos, yeah, the Raiders might try to move up to about 7, 8, 9 maybe, and try to get a guy like Isaiah Simmons. And then, let's see, do you guys hear about Red Flag? Yeah, Phenom about the drug test. Yeah, I don't think that's going to, if you like him, I don't think it's going to cause anything. Not anymore with the new, collective bargaining agreement. He's not even going to go into the program, I don't even think. So I did hear about that, but, a couple years ago, even last year, it would have been a big deal, but not no more. Okay, so let's see. But yeah, so that's a pretty good rumor, JB. Would you like that? Would you want CeeDee Lamb? Is he your number 1 receiver? I mean, him with Lamar, that could be deadly. They like to use a lot of crossing routes and stuff like that and get the ball out quick. So he would fit there. Let's see what she said. They want to trade a 1, a 2, and a 4 and a 5 next year. So what pick are they in the first? Let's do some research for JB here. Let's do this. Chart. Let's do some. So JB is talking. I guess I can post this up. Talking about CeeDee Lamb, possibly, and the Ravens moving up. Let's do share screen. So quick math. I'm not the greatest on the calculator in front. He's talking 66, 9. So it's about 1,000. You said a 1, a 2. You're talking to get up to 7. Is that what you said? Oh no, you said to Jets. About another 200. So yeah, trade would probably get it done. Jets need a lot. I don't know if the Jets would be the target though necessarily. I'd say maybe. So here's the thing. I've heard Cleveland might be ready to move out, and I've heard, maybe the Jets, what you're saying. The only way I really see these teams maybe moving out, and they're not for sure going tackle, but to me, I would say odds are, if you had to put money, the favorite position for these two teams taking are offensive tackles. Having said that, there's only a clear 4 that belong up here, and there's a good chance that each could get one. So, the Raiders are trying to move back too. What about the Raiders? Maybe, JB, I know if I was a Raiders fan, I would take that deal. That's just me. If CeeDee Lamb was on the board at 12. So Tampa, I'd say Tampa may be trying to move up a little bit. They need a tackle. And what you're going to see, in my opinion, is, you see positional value. And we're kind of talking about that. I was talking about that with Isaiah Simmons here. Look at the linebackers that have been drafted, the pure linebackers even, which, technically he really isn't. He's, a hybrid dude, all chess piece linebacker. Derwin James, who's more of a safety corner, chess piece, he went like 18th overall or something, right? So it was a mistake, but even 18th. But my point about positional value, okay, Devin White went 4th. A pure middle linebacker, Speed's been doing it for years. So, it is possible, definitely. Isaiah Simmons could go up there, that's for sure. But like I said, tackle, I think. I think Isaiah Simmons, more realistically, I'd say the odds are, in my opinion, that Isaiah Simmons goes from pick 7, through 12, something like that. I think someone's going to trade up 7 through like 9 to get him 10. In my opinion, then it is more likely that he goes in this range. I know everyone seems to say the Giants. It is possible Dave Gettleman has taken, Shaq Lawson or whatever his name is, Shaq Thompson, the linebacker, is last year at Carolina in the first round. He's never drafted an offensive lineman in the first round. He's taken him in the second. But like I said, investing a first rounder in your formerly in your running back and then in your quarterback, you got to really hammer, get the most out of them. And an offensive line is going to be does that. Sorry. Yeah, we trade 19 to the Colts for both of their second-round picks. That's a great move. Yeah, son. So I've said something and thrown it out there. Let's say we trade with them R19 for the quarterback. Let's say Jordan Love. They have a real balanced team. They have a bunch of chips. I suggested, both twos. But see, that's 1,000 points. You want to go to 19,875. You usually get more when it is, for a quarterback. So I'd hope you would kind of bargain a little bit harder than that. Maybe you swap, you get 75 and then you give them, something a little later in here. Maybe you give them 121. No, that's a little too late. My point is you got to swap something else. Maybe 75, and we give them. I think we have 91. So let's take both. Let's say if we were to do that, in my opinion, they want Jordan Love, we fall back here at 34. We either take a receiver, a corner, or you can even trade up. Eventually, probably this one up a little bit, and then get two of the guys, and then you get 75. You give them 91. So then the Raiders have 75, 80, 81. You probably trade back 81 or use it to move up a little bit from here. Boom, boom. You get a corner receiver right here. You get corner receiver, maybe, each or right here. Maybe it's defensive tackle. Yeah, so I've talked about that. I think I might have done a video. It's kind of hard. You guys follow me on Twitter at Mason Riggs. They would send it as OBJ, Olivia Vernon, a first and second rounder, and 2/3, and we would get that because the Browns would be Browns. You're talking about the Ravens trading for Odell? Is that what you're talking about? JB? All right, so it's talking Tyler Johnson. Let me go back to Twitter. And I think he will go more realistically. I have him rated as, third round receiver, because that's so deep. He go in between third and, middle fifth, even maybe potentially, in my opinion. Next one I'll talk about is Van Jefferson. Giving him a lot of love. Great route runner. Florida. His dad's a receiver coach. 6'2". I know at the Senior Bowl, if I could find it, he was clocked at like 21 miles per hour, the fastest pads on. Nagy talked about that. Yeah, I think he's going to be a really good player. He's a really good route runner. So I think, he's an older player. I think he'd be, a real good player to add. Let's say if you got like a Henry Ruggs or someone, if you got like Henry Ruggs. Oh, shoot, I'm not even showing you my screen. Sorry, guys. If you got like Henry Ruggs or someone like that, I think he's basically a super poor, kind of poor man's Jerry Jeudy, where he's just a really good skilled route runner. I wish I could show stuff for LSU. Let's see this going here in 3 seconds. Back shoulder, boom. Watch him versus LSU. They have first two great corners. There we go. Let's see this. Didn't. Okay. Let's go back. I wish I could. Get off the get-go. Boom, boom, hezzy. Get off the line outside. Get. Woo. And watch. Let's see if I can. I don't want to zoom in all the way, but watch how many steps he gets out of here, kind of. And he's not going to beat his. He's not going to chop his feet when he's trying to come back. So short 1-2. Great separation. That's Fulton he's against. He might be a late first round. Boom. I believe 10, maybe at 19. Here we go. So there you go. He got beat at the time, it looks like. Come back for Stingley, a little hezzy. Look at that. A little hezzy right there. Whoop. Stingley's good, Mr. Pick out there is a beast. Sick China route, if I'm not mistaken. Boom. Tough catch, handsy catch. So watch him from the end. Woo. Yeah, I'm a big Van Jefferson guy. Check him out. Hey, James. Good to see you. Don't remember you, but good to have you here. Let's hide this. You guys got more questions on certain players or whatnot? Prospect questions, throw them out there. What was I going to talk about next? So I think, like I said, Todd, Van Jefferson could go anywhere, mid third round all the way to fifth. It's probably third round, early third round to fifth, in my opinion. It's just such a deep wide receiver class that the fact is, receivers that you have graded that they're going to fall potentially. Now let's go to safeties. Let's go to One of my favorite players. It seems like always one of my favorite players. Always have these safeties that I love. In Winfield, early in the year against Penn State, boom, I was like sold. And he had a couple picks, game sealer in overtime, I think, for Fresno State. I remember his dad for the Minnesota Vikings for forever, corner, a physical player. Now, things with him that concerns me, especially pertaining to him going possibly to the Raiders, is he's small. Specifically going to the Raiders, he's small in stature and in wingspan. And in the AFC West, it's big tight ends you have to stop and be able to match up with. Having said that, I love everything about his game. 4.45, which surprised a lot of people. 36 vertical, 124 broad. But I mean, he'll hit you, kick returner, punt return at some point. But he is younger. But if I'm not mistaken, he has a lot of injuries. I want to say three years worth of injuries, and he finally came back. But just a beast. We'll lay out the lumber. Like I said, yeah, let's see. Made a extensive time in 2017 and 2018 exactly. But I love everything about his game. Check out his highlight tape. Not even his highlight tape, just full games. So Antoine Winfield Jr. Spaceverse at YouTube. Just kind of check it out. And then let's go back to Twitter, and I'll kind of look on. So I think I have him rated as a late one, middle two player. That's me personally. Like I said, I love everything about his game. The only thing I don't love is his injury concern in his frame. And especially, like as I mentioned, in the AFC West, that frame is a big thing to me, in my opinions. But I have him ranked, late one, second, mid or to early mid second rounder, in my opinion. I don't know, like I said, to fit so much with the Raiders. I mean, I would love him, but there's like a guy like Delpit, for example, if he was around during that, I'd kind of want him over just because of the size. So, on it right? Can't spell. Second. Did I just put that? Oh, I put Antonio, didn't I? Whoops. Let's fuck this. Let's see if we can get some Twitter stuff on him. Let's see. Check the comments, Mason. McKinney is the only safety I want. Are you talking about for the Raiders? I like McKinney a lot, but honestly, I'm not the biggest. To me, he's a pure strong safety to me. If I'm taking a safety rather high for the Raiders, I want him the ability to possibly play single high. And what that means is, you're the lone safety in the middle. You got to be rangy hash to hash, have some range. And if you watch McKinney, he's a good player. Definitely is smart. Uses his intelligence. If you try to burn him once, he'll pick it up. You run the same play a few drives later, he'll jump it. But he played a lot of linebacker this past year. And with the pairing of Abram, I want Abram at the line of scrimmage a lot, near the line of scrimmage. So I want more of a single high. And so a Winfield, even though his lack of frame, he would be a guy. And then the next guy I'm going to talk about, Ashton Davis, is someone. I think he's more of, a late to third round pick. Chance he's maybe they're 80-81. I like him a lot. 1 minute, it's a little too. 5:09. Let's see, 16 seconds. See if we can get this. Wish I could see it before. I'm sure he'll flash here. There he is. That's against Penn State. Look at that. Oh, hey, how you doing? That was nice, wasn't it? 1 minute's too long. Who's talking about? Ashton Davis, who I was talking about, 4-time All-American in track at Cal's, and getting into that next. He's a guy I really like a lot. You watch him versus Oregon, he's a beast. And, his dad playing, I like that a lot. kick return game. Check him out. He's got highlight tips. I was here Florida CJ Henderson. Yeah, that's nice. What? I would not be happy because I'm not a Niner fan. Yeah, range 8 picks. Look at that. Woo! Yeah, like I said, I wish I had everything kind of lined up a little bit better. I just don't. I wasn't able to do everything. Next up, who was I going to talk about? Sorry, like I said, I'm doing this on the fly, guys. Let me see who I was going to talk about next. Ashton Davis. Ashton Davis, a Cal. I watched a couple full game twos in the games Oregon. He's playing man. The nickel corner blitzes. He takes up the receiver, has him, picks off the ball. Real good against Oregon. Picks off Herbert. There's another one which playing single highs, just double seamed, reacts to the ball thrown to the left seam, and his big hit causes incompletion. Not the longest arms, but not horrible. 6'1", 202. Didn't run and all that stuff, but being a track star, he can run, folks. Like I said, this is his projection. That's my projection. Just real rangy, physical. Will throw his body around. There's a similar play. Got Tyvon Branch to throw. Monster athletic tester, A+ character, trigger and demeanor. Yeah, he can be reckless. That's for sure. He'll throw his body around. So I really like him. He's like my dream free safety, possible round 3 that might be around for the Raiders. So if I had to rate it for the Raiders, who I want to pair next to Jonathan Abram, I want a safety. So it'd be like a Grant Delpit, a Winfield, an Ashton Davis, and then a Jeremy Chain, who I'm going to get to next. Possibly those are like my true dream pairings for this, for a rookie to bring in. Some of those guys are most likely than not. I'd say most of them are probably, where this pick's settle right now, and based on the range they're going to go, it might be kind of hard. The most likely would probably be Ashton Davis. Let's see. How long is this? 5 seconds. Let's see. So he's going to chase this guy down and lay him out. Let's see. So you're going to see Ashton Davis flying. Wait. Bam! Meet him in the alley. Let's see. 30 seconds, a little long. Oh, look at that. Ashton Davis. John, that's number 1. Definitely got, rare traits. Like I said, track star. You see Isaiah Simmons blowing it up. Former track star, participated in track his freshman year. Track star at 39 seconds. This is against Oregon. This is what I was talking about. This is the alley. This is exactly what I was talking about. Bam! Watch him. Bam! Separate. Here's the pick. Look at it. That's perfect cut. This is what I was on. I watched the whole game, but this guy's already cut it up. 20 seconds. Look at this. Pick it, son. You know what to do with it. Let me go back. Pick it up from Jordan Reed NFL. There he is. I watched this game too. Bringing it. Oh, bringing it. See Isaiah Simmons do that a little bit to running backs. Obviously, he's way lighter. If you had him and Simmons, man, you would have a track so much of Philly. Woo, look at the range. I'm a big Ashton Davis. If he was around 80, 81, I'd be so upset if the Raiders didn't take him. Well, yeah. Yeah, I'm a big Ashton Davis guy. So those are a few highlighting plays. And like I said, those rangy, kind of, he's not Earl Thomas, but kind of Earl Thomas type of player. Kind of do the same type of things. Obviously not to the same high level. I like him a lot. I think this draft is the same for every draft, but the draft is everybody has a hole somewhere. Yeah, definitely everyone has a hole somewhere, that's for sure. What am I? So next on my list, so I'm really excited about Ashton Davis. Let's see what I had. We're going to talk about a couple running. Oh, no, Jeremy Chin. Excuse me. Jeremy Chin. Jeremy Chin is, I was a huge this year athlete. He was like one of my favorite players in the draft. Him and TJ Hawkinson last year, and Josh Jacobs, in the pre-process. Jeremy Chin is that small school guy. You hear a lot about Kyle Duggar. Kyle Duggar's, great too, but I think Kyle Duggar's more of a strong safety for sure. I think Jeremy Chin has a chance to play free safety. Adderley is his cousin, the Hall of Famer. Look at this, 6'3", 221, 32-inch arms, 95/8. I've heard late one potentially, Daniel Jeremiah's thrown that out. Maybe Seattle, big, put him at strong safety like a Cam Chancellor. Like I said, I think maybe we'll go testing. Woo! But real rangy player, a lot of production, like around 2. Yep. Harrison Smith, look at that. Yeah. He is something I like special. Go and check the comments, see if I got something. No, I guess not. Let's go. So maybe if the Raiders were going to trade back and they had a pick in that range, or maybe if some weird reason he made it late round 2 and they could package a couple picks to go get him, Jeremy Chin would be sweet. I like him a lot. This guy said 66, hopefully. Yeah, so that guy's hoping for him there to be at 66, so he's probably not going to make the 80s, obviously. Man, not a lot of love on him. Wow. Look at that hate. Dang. But dang. Well, I guess they don't have a third or to trade up in the third, so anyways, he's someone I'm really high on. I was gonna talk some about some running backs, I think. His Twitter, that wasn't really awesome. Let's stick to Twitter. Let's go AJ Dillon, big bruiser, really productive out of Boston College. Mike Mayock's alma mater. That means the college he went to, graduated from. So, there's a fit there. Not to mention he's like a big bruising, like sledgehammer. I think the Titans would love to. Oh, my thing's not clear. Hold on, guys. I got 1 second. I'll plug in my computer. Hold up. All right. There we go. So just test like a beast. Sledgehammer kind of looks like a Derrick Henry. Let's see. Speed score. So this is some analytical data. 97th percentile. So that has to do, he ran for whatever it was, high 4.4s or low 4.5s, but at the speed he is, at that weight he is, that's huge. Look at that burst score. This is like analytical. Yeah. Get off me. Yeah, it's nice. They're target 127. So third round and on, I'd say for him, get off me. Just real productive, tested like a beast. Look at that, Derrick Henry. Like I said, kind of comparing 6 foot. He's got 3 inches. So you know what I'm saying? Derrick Henry's 3 inches taller. So AJ Dillon's like almost thicker. Being 3 inches smaller, the same weight. Looks stockier. He's got a bigger vert. Broad. Look at that. Just incredible similarities. 30 reps at 225, 447 in the 40 at 245. Yeah. Give me some of him. I would love him pairing with Josh Jacobs. That'd be sweet. I'm going to kind of move on if I'm going to do something similar too. So I think the next player I want to talk about reminds me a lot of one Kareem Hunt. This man's out of Utah, Zach Moss. Let's see this. Projected, or I can't remember if he ran or if he got hurt. 33 is not bad. But really good contact balance. Can catch the football. I believe he had maybe a knee surgery in the past, and I get past pretty good. I was hoping for maybe some highlights. Dang, not a lot of love. So check him out, that's for sure. He reminds me a lot of Kareem Hunt. Let's see if we can find some. So he's getting the ball right here. Whoop! Kid north south. Stick your foot in the ground. Let's see. Let's see what he does. Some guy's breaking it down. Okay, that's too long of a video. Like I said, for copyright issues, I'm not trying to. So maybe third round and on, he'd be real good. See a lot of love from different places. Like I say, yeah. So I'm a big Zach Moss guy. Trying to move forward, especially if I'm gonna do maybe one simulator. I'm not gonna. I got a couple more. Here's more of a weapon kind of piece. Say they need, they're trying to get a home run threat, maybe in the middle rounds. This guy had some receiver and running back at the University of, was it Memphis? Tennessee, Memphis, who had 33 broken tackles. I don't want to show the video all the way. He's going to burn that guy. It's nice. 33 broken tackles, 12 touchdowns, and 71 carries. Woo! That's production. 4.39 speed at 228. So heavier. That's great. Look at Mims, who's a beast. Look at that. So a real playmaker. Think middle rounds, he'd be someone that'd be pretty sweet. 4.39. And go get it, son. Yeah, so big play. If you want like a speed demon kind of chess piece, he's someone. And then next up, let's do one of my favorite, maybe my favorite. I think I had him listed. Check out my Twitter, guys, Mason Riggs. You can find the tweets that I redo. Recycle. Cam Akers. Let me just do. From Florida State, man, just the number one high school recruit by many. Struggled, I believe last year he averaged getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. Never, complained someone's going to get him. Rounds, I think he could go anywhere from the second all the way to the fourth, fifth, to be honest. You never know about running backs, but I love him. He would probably be my biggest dream pairing if the Raiders, could get any running back, let's say, from the third on. Cam Akers would be my favorite. Yeah, versatile, dangerous open field. Look at that catch. Woo! Look at that catch. Go back to it. Come up the seam from the old running back. One hand. Yeah, sign me up for that. Let's see if we got any more here that I tagged, at least give a shout out. Michael Pittman Jr. I don't know if I researched him, but his dad played for John Gruden. I would love him. He's in the range of late one, in my opinion, maybe to the third. More likely definitely goes first, late one, second, in my opinion. But at 6'4", watch his game versus Utah, just torch them. And then I guess let's get into a simulator, I suppose. Let's try. Let's try this. Man, the problem with this one is the visuals, and you're not able to see the draft board. This one's kind of lacking, but we'll give it a try. Give it a try here. Let's go like this. Oh, JGDF form. It's kind of crazy already. I kind of like this one. We'll just see. I'm not going to do any trade ups. I like this because they give you trade back options, kind of. It's all unique. Dang, so all the receivers went. Interesting. I'm a big CJ Henderson fan, though. I think he's the best man corner. I'm going to take him. Then I'm looking for a receiver here, most likely. Let me guess. It freaking froze, didn't it? Almost. Tennessee at 29, trying to move up. Let's check all the receivers. Be happy with. I'd be happy with these two especially. I think trade back's a great option here. Try to pick up a second. Let's try to trade down with Tennessee. They don't have a second. Or maybe that's their second. Maybe I'm tripping. $19, $21. Look at that. So hopefully we don't get burned completely. Oh, Jalen Reagor went. That's hurts. Denzel Mims probably gonna go. We're gonna get burned. Burned. One pick. Oh, that hurts. LaVisca. This is the last. Michael Pittman. All right. Let's go with the big dynamic playmaker, LaVisca Chenault. Wow, so I kind of got burned. You lose some, you win some, folks, right? And like I said, it goes by so fast. I should have, paused it and whatnot and made a run. Made sure we got our guy. And I can't see, who's next in the order. That's why I usually don't like doing this one. That's kind of lacking. Yeah, as you can see, there's no. You get burned. We got burned. All right, don't be a quitter, Mason. Let's just keep going. Definitely need more just receivers. I like Vancha. Where's Edwards they got down there? See, I don't know if it's worth. No one wants to trade. See, this is the bad part right here, right? I don't really like any of these guys over a whole bunch. Maybe a Jeremy Chin. They're going to hate on it. I'm going to take Jeremy Chin. Last of the safeties, kind of. I like the good cluster of like 3, 4, 5 receivers, cluster of linebackers, but I think Jeremy Chin's my favorite safety out of those. Davis was gone, all those type of. I like, potentially getting Hamilton. Big Cam Akers guy. And Jefferson, Brent Edwards. So we have a couple picks here pretty quickly. It's the point of, dropping back. See a big interior defensive lineman, I think, here. Let's get dynamic running backs. And we'll take a receiver at 91. Take Brian Edwards here. Ooh, Van Jefferson. Going with the polished route runner here, folks. I said Edwards, but I remember we took LaVisca. So now we get our, polished route runner, our big time playmaker, a match piece safety to help out, finally soft tight ends, a nice spell running back, starting opposite corner, and a nice big defensive interior young guy to restock the inventory. Mo Hurst, PJ Hall, kind of a bit on an alert right now, especially if we draft someone, which I expect the Raiders to. So this is probably the last time I use this one. Like I said, it lacks in a lot. You can't see the board. You can't. It's just kind of hard to manipulate. There are some positives, some cool things, and that's just the offers per trade stuff is pretty cool. So here, I kind of want to go interior offensive lineman. Let's see. Who they got? No, I don't like that really. Ben Bart maybe. Like running, potentially kicking inside. Let's get an edge player like Garvin. But hey, that was kind of unique there. Kind of got burned. Would have liked Denzel Mims instead of Chenault. But LaVisca, I believe someone said, if they did a draft last year, because he suffered so many injuries this past year, some scout was saying that they would have taken him in the top 15 type of player rated. Winfield, JB saying, I see. Okay, so yeah, my comments weren't coming up now. I see JB's comments now. All right. Probably only going to do one or two more. I'll switch the side after this. A little interesting approach here. So we probably could have gotten more here. Should have gotten more, but hey, it is what it is. And like I said, we got a variety of players and a bunch of needs. Love CJ Henderson, probably my favorite man core in the draft. LaVisca, big time playmaker, matchup piece on the back end, and Chin. So really, change your secondary. Nice young guy to groom. We brought in Collins, but and then we re-signed Hankins, but both are 1 year. Hank Akers, prolific, number one player in the country at one point and out of high school. Van Jefferson, Paul's route runner. To complement Chenault perfectly and a nice edge player. I like that. Too bad I'm not ever draft Ruiz. You're talking for you guys for Baltimore. Ruiz is a good player, man. I don't think you guys would take interior offensive lineman that high though necessarily. It's kind of positional. I mean, but you look at Nelson. Nelson's a completely different generational, obviously, but Quentin Nelson, different story. Yeah, usually in the first round, unless it's really late round one before you take a guard. Find guards in the third and on all the time. So this is gonna be the last one I do here because we're getting tired here. Conservative. Just to relax and not take advantage of it. What's going on here? There we go. Nah, it's taking way too long. I got to restart. I don't know if it's going too long because I'm lagging or the settings. But if it's like this, I ain't doing it. It's just laggy. It's killing me. All right, normal speed. I'm not going to do slow. Man, it's just me lagging. It's unfortunate. Wanted to be able to maneuver up and down the board a little bit more. There's already a delay, when you pause it. I was trying to, what you say, even to get there. Yeah, see. Just play it out. It's going to be hard to maneuver. Look at Tua's in a free fall here, folks. If Tua falls to 12, I'm taking him. I'm letting the world know. We're trading Derek Carr. for a package of picks, hopefully, and we're rolling with Marcus to begin the year. I could have traded him possibly for a bounty, but hey, I'm going to get crazy. Live a little. Oh, this is going to be sitting pretty good, actually, here. Remember, we need a package of picks for DC, which we're not going to be really able to count for, obviously, but just kind of remember that. So really need some receivers. I'm probably just gonna move up a little bit, maybe, but I think it's key to remember they would have a couple more picks, to package to get another receiver as itself or just a receiver by itself in general. So we would have more picks, obviously, like I said. Kind of going to get burned here, obviously. So I'm not going to do it. But hypothetically, I think it's just key to remember, they would, in my opinion, probably try to trade up in this range, with the access picks, to get one of the receivers that they were really excited about. I'm not going to do it because, I want to just pick players. But, with the picks that they would trade for Derek Carr, I think you'd definitely get, a receiver out of those picks, whether it's, a combination or they trade up, to get one of those receivers. But I'm just going to stay still probably. Maybe move up a little bit, but man, this is laggy. Like if I could get Michael Pittman and then someone else a little later, that'd be sweet. Once one of them go. See if we can get. So as you can see, maybe they even get something like that, maybe a little more for DC. You could definitely trade in this range to get a receiver, I think, in have those others. So I'm gonna do that. Hopefully we don't lose a Michael Pittman here. No burn. Give me Pittman. That'd be sweet. So like I said, we don't even have those assets of a DC and whatnot, but we're able to get some stuff. So immediately here, I'm thinking safety receiver again. Van Jefferson and Edwards would be phenomenal. We're only 12 picks away. Maybe a trade back, though, if we're comfortable with a lot of these guys. So it's maybe similar to, the draft hole that we would have gotten if we didn't, make a trade up, but we got some picks for DC. Oh, Jordan Elliott. Oh, Ashton Davis would have been nice. Like I said, you can't win them all. I like these two guys, and him for sure. Those three for sure, and I'm sure maybe Tyler Johnson's down here. I'm a big Tyler Johnson guy too. Let's talk about a trade back. Let's see about 85. Different one here. Polished route runner. Tempted to go even 3 receivers here. If KJ Hamler's on the board, I'm taking him, folks. I'm taking three special, unique players. Give me the home run threat. Wow, this would be an awesome draft. I'd be ecstatic with this draft. What's the Raiders? Even getting Tua. That'd be dope. This would be sweet. I'm only going to do one. This is it, guys. So I'm going to do any more after this. Look at that, guys. Woo! It's filling some needs. Look at James Hardwick out here. Back to Hamilton, bro. Ruiz to the Finns at 26. James Hardwick. Hey, I'd like that. I could see that. You got a lot of picks built from the interior. Hey, you like that? Tua fell. I had to pull the trigger. What can I say? I'm sure James Hardwick's upset. Let's see what Miami did for my buddy James out there. Let's see what if I can check. I probably can't. Just check the first round, maybe. See what the Dolphins did here in the first. Oh, Herbert. Herbert and then Xavier. Try to build out in the back end. Josh Jones. Okay, that's a haul there for the Finns. Lloyd Cushenberry. Oh, that's a great interior offensive lineman, similar to Ruiz. It's a haul. All right. Yeah, this is going to be probably it for me. I'll get my buddy James Hardwick on here maybe one time for a special Dolphins podcast. Or not a podcast, but an episode. But I mean, I kind of like what I've done here. Take the Fallen Grace to go to Vegas, get a star, run with Mariota, the two Hawaiian boys, to build up. Get your lockdown opposite corner. Pittman is junior. His dad played for Gruden. Get your big receiver. Get your explosive. Still got a couple picks left, huh? Would get more for DC. Let's see available. Ooh, Zach Moss. Would be sweet. Oh, I've mentioned him before. Kind of protect, take a linebacker. Yeah, I'm taking Zach Moss here, folks. Woo! Oh, man. Talk about an infused offensive weapons here. KJ Hamler, explosive deep threat. Van Jefferson, the polished route runner who was clocked in over 20 miles per hour at the Senior Bowl. Michael Pittman, the bloodlines. Get your Henderson, get your quarterback of the future, Tua. Roll with Mariota early, maybe. See if how it goes. Keep building strength. James says Fins up. You're sick. James, if you want to get on, I'll stay on longer if you want. And give me a text right now. I'll get you on. We'll do a Dolphins mock. Get you on a video chat on the thing. I know you're probably busy with your wife. Happy life, happy wife. Happy wife, happy life. Honestly, I don't really see the Raiders drafting. I know they've done a lot of work kind of with their Hurts and whatnot, but I just think they're not – them signing Mariota to me signals that they don't think they're going to get probably a quarterback, but if they do, it gives them some flexibility, that's for sure. But I think they think of Hurts is probably going to go in the second round. They don't have second-round picks, so you can't assume you could trade back and whatnot. Tua is a complete wild card. But yeah, I pretty much can guarantee if they were to take a quarterback, definitely in these first 3 rounds, Hurts and a Herbert or Tua, they'd be moving on from Derek Carr and they'd be rolling with a Mariota. Now having the pandemic and all that, it makes it a little bit more difficult. but you're not giving up assets and having Tua there. If Tua fell to them at 12, I honestly think I would hope they would pull the trigger. And look at this haul that we were still able to pull off for him. It's real nice. There's Gordon. JB had a comment about him. I like him a lot. I would have liked him a lot potentially, but like I said, just kind of with the acquisitions, I probably wouldn't. I like Kayvon Wallace as a potential nickel corner. I'm really liking the linebackers. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Wallace. We like them Clemson boys. But what a haul. And this is going to wrap it up. James said maybe next time we could do a Dolphins one with James, get him on. Look at that haul. Tua falls. We'll swoop him up. Somehow CJ Henderson falls. We get aggressive. You'll get Michael Pittman, Van Jefferson, Hamler, 3 receivers. Get a bunch of different flavors. Bound to hit on, definitely 1 or 2 of those guys. Zach Moss, I see him a lot to Cream Hunt, another great bloodlines. And then Kayvon Wallace, the kind of deep safety nickel corner for Clemson. Yeah. So I think that's it, guys. I'm going to get going, I think. JB, maybe got one more. Where you got Cole McDonald going, the GOAT? Oh, wow, James. He's definitely got an arm. 6th round and on, probably, dude, if he even gets drafted. But he's got an arm, that's for sure. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it here for this broadcast. Thanks for joining. And take care. Stay safe. Bye.